what's going on? Oh, wow. I was just knocking my microphone off. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How art thou? Hold on, let me get us set up on Facebook. All right, I think we're good. Put this over off in the corner. Boop. Hey, what's going on, Rebecca? Miss Anya, how are you? What up, dude? How are you, Miss Anya? Hey, Christopher. All right, that's what's up. How are you guys doing? I know, right? I told everybody, I told Miss Anya and Christopher that I missed them last night. And then I missed Renita as well. Hey, what's going on, Renita? Hey, I've been out all like literally the entire day today. So like, man, if this was like episode 1 or 2, I would be in some deep trouble. But I am motivated to complete what I said I was going to do today, ladies and gentlemen. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is day 99. How's it going, Miss Renita, Rebecca? How are you guys? Today is day 99. Tomorrow is that. Man, we made it. Well, hold on. I don't want to count my eggs for the hatch, but we're there. We're at that proverbial finish line. We're clapping for ourselves. Thank you, Miss Renita. We're clapping for us being here. We're making it together. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, Miss Rebecca. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Miss Anya. No, I appreciate you guys for coming and all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much. Um, man, yeah. I'm ecstatic to start. So today, hold on, I gotta do my banner. Today I wanted to talk about something kind of dear to me. It happened to me before. I'm sure it's happened to you, but when the pain won't go away, how to move forward after betrayal. How to move forward after betrayal. Okay, after Juneteenth, okay. Did you sell some of them pies and stuff? Hey, Yadi. So we're talking about so today, and here's the thing. I've talked about this on multiple occasions, but I think today, since we're headed towards our last couple shows, at least in this iteration of coaching, Q&A and training and all that good stuff. Um oh, okay. Okay. Um excuse me. Good gosh. Hold on. Boom, there we are. There it is. There it is. Hold on. Good job, Miss Anya. So how to move forward after betrayal. When we talked about Dante's Inferno, the Divine Comedy, there's like nine, I believe it was like nine different sins. And actually, Yachty and Renita were like the only ones like still left out of the whole thing. And Yachty had mentioned, she's like, dude, why didn't you break that up? Which I really should have, because that was really a two-parter. But I really went in on Betrayal. And I said, you know what, for today, I want to, for day 99, this is what I want to do. This is why I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I know what I'm doing on Monday, because I'm going to do an encore on Monday. Encore Monday. But today, I wanted to do this one here because it meant so much to me. And I think that so many of us have gone through it that I think that we can revisit this and it's still gonna have the same effect as we did the first time we talked about it. Okay. And the first betrayal that I think that majority of us heard growing up, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it would be Judas and Jesus, right? Judas selling the information of his friend to the Romans to have him arrested and then knocked off from there, right? But I think this is one of the first betrayals that a lot of us have actually understood. I never got the Adam and Eve thing, whatever, like cool, whatever. But this is the one that I got. I got this one. And with Dante's Inferno, with Dante's comedy, the Divine Comedy, it was pretty ironic that okay. I mean, but at the same time though, I don't know if I would have considered that betrayal. I mean, yeah, he killed him, but it was more of a jealous thing than anything else. Like they didn't go, Cain didn't go up to the altar with the intention of doing his brother any harm. Yeah, if that makes sense. Judas, on the other hand, knew what he was going to do beforehand. So it was premeditated with him. With Cain and Abel, I didn't really look at it like that from my standpoint. You might be like, yeah, betrayal. I mean, yeah, that's cool too. But from my standpoint, it's more of a jealous act than anything else. But that's also a story that I'll talk to you directly about, Renita, because there's some shit in that story that that kind of bothers me, but it is what it is. Um, but yeah, so Judas and Jesus, we know about it because your boy got sold for 30 pieces of silver. You know what I'm saying? So there was a cost to his betrayal as well. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So, um, and here's the thing: something to consider is the word betray comes from the Latin root word tradere, meaning to hand over. Show of hands, how many of y'all knew that? And say no if you didn't, because I know I didn't know that. Again, I didn't know that. I'm sure some of y'all did. But so the root word is the same word, comes from the same root word as the word traitor. As in, they handed you over for their gain. You see what I'm saying? Um, Cain didn't kill Abel to get over on his brother. Killed him out of jealousy. This dude sold his friend off for 30 pieces of silver. And I mean, think about it like that, though, right? How many people do we know that are treacherous just like that? That ain't got no problem betraying their friendship. Hi. All right, so today again is day 99 of our 100 days. I don't know how many of you guys are excited. How many of you guys are excited? How many of you guys tomorrow? He said no few knew that. Yeah. Just saying, man. Day 99. How many of us are keeping our word still? How are you guys doing with that? No. No, he actually sold his friend. He sold his friend off for 30 pieces of silver. Yes, ma'am. Yep. Okay, hold on. Okay, good job, guys. Thank you much. Yeah, so anyway, all right, let's I was looking for the actual verse, whatever. I didn't see it in there. But it is what it is, whatever. Let's just keep going. Let's keep going. Warning, my name is Fearless Cummings. Welcome to Ask Fearless. Here's the thing, we do kind of go deep on our conversations. We do talk about our dreams, goals, aspirations, and problems. As your host and life coach, my job is to give you practical tools, tips, and strategies to deal with your dreams, goals, aspirations, and problems. If you are easily offended, please go somewhere else. Actually, I don't give a fuck. We only got 2 days left of this, and you can do whatever you need to do from there. But until then, I don't care. We are, ladies and gentlemen, heading into what we like to call the learning zone. You know what? I was thinking about doing I was thinking about doing what's Danger Zone? Remember who was that? Kenny Loggins from Top Gun. Danger Zone, but like Learning Zone. You know what I mean? Whatever. Anyhow, please go grab yourself a pen pad or whatever you need to stay focused. Drinks, snacks, blankets, snuggers, chargers, reading glasses. I said snuggers, 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 snuggers. All right, so before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, can I get my hell yeah, pretty please? Sugar on top. Can I please get a, can I please? I said please. Not please, can I please get a hell yeah? And hell yeah for yesterday. Thank you, Anya. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Miss Renita. Okay. Miss Anya went to the what is that thing that they went to? Memorial Day or Memorial Park or whatever, and Memorial concert yesterday. Now she's like, I'm going every single year. All right, well, that's pretty awesome, man. And so today, yeah, Memorial Park free concert. So today we are talking about, again, like we said, how to move forward after betrayal. After betrayal. Here's something to consider. One of the most dangerous kind of people are those who are never wrong nor ever apologize. How many of us show fans know somebody like that? Say I. Who's never wrong and never apologizes. How many of us know somebody who's never wrong and never apologizes? Chris said I. Okay. Miss Anya said I. I will say I as well. Many of y'all know somebody who ain't never wrong and boy never apologizes either. Never listen, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. As you know, as we've been doing this for 99 days now, and some of you've known me before we started doing this. If I'm wrong about something, if I've wronged a person, if I had some information that wasn't correct, first thing I'm doing, hey, my fault, sorry about that. Quick to apologize. Quick. Like, quick to apologize. If I've done something that offended somebody, my fault, hey, sorry about that. But also depending on what it was. Right? I do not fuck with people who can't apologize when they're wrong. I can't. I don't. And if I have to be around them, I move around them with caution. I don't step on eggshells. I just move with caution with them. Very dangerous people to me. A man or a woman after been proven wrong can't say, hey man, my fault. Fucked up on that. Sorry. I'm good. Nope. Now, here's the thing. If you do it to somebody else, it's only a matter of time before you do it to me. It's only a matter of time before you do it to me. So, just saying. But again, that's just how I feel about that. You know, I mean, y'all can feel however y'all need to or whatever. But me personally, I'm out on that shit. All right, so number one, you're not going to get past the pain. You're not going to get past it. That's number one. Chris, okay, hold on one sec, Chris. You were betrayed, and now everybody wants you just to move on. But some wounds weren't meant to be bypassed, were they? They demand to be honored, faced, and felt. This is one of the things I teach to my 12-year-old kid now. First little girlfriend he had, she was fucking with his head, doing all kinds of shit. I went in and talked to him about it, and he just started crying. I'm like, man, let it out. He said, I don't want to feel this. I said, no, you need to feel this. All of it. All of it. I don't think it's safe. I don't think that it's healthy. I don't think that it's a good idea in general to hold that type of shit in. Or when people say just move past it, now fuck that, get that out. Get it out. Right? Now don't move past it. Feel that shit. You're not gonna move past it. Because here's the thing, if you ignore it, it will come out in relationships outside of this one. If you don't do something to check what happened here, you're going to consistently keep thinking and putting somebody else's, that person's face on everybody who wrongs you, whether they did it or not. See what I mean? So, question: am I trying to outrun something that needs to be witnessed? Or am I trying to outrun it? That's what happens, right? So reality is that what you refuse to feel will eventually shape you without your permission. What you refuse to feel and appear to will eventually reshape how you operate, how you move, all that shit, all of it. Have you guys ever gone through some shit where you haven't gotten past it and it reshaped how you look at almost everything? I don't know what I'll say. I know that happened to me before. You know, for quite a while, everybody I looked at had that person's face. Everybody I looked at had her face. Everybody I looked at had his face. Everybody I looked at had their face. Just saying. Because it's some shit that somebody else did to me. Right? So what do? Number one, sit with the pain. Gotta sit with that shit. Okay? Sit with it. Name it. Name what it is. Name what happened. Don't sanitize it. Don't try to reframe that shit. Take that shit for what it is. This is what happened. We can reframe the shit in a minute. But this is what you saw happen. This is what happened. We can reframe it in a minute. Right? Let it speak to you. So it can stop making all that fucking chitter chatter in your head. Somebody's sitting there like, oh man, you gonna let him talk to you like that? Oh man, you gonna let him disrespect you like that? I just watched a young man on Instagram today talk about, he was holding a baby, I'm assuming his baby, and he was like, why would you throw your life away and go to prison for somebody who is beneath you in every way? Why would you put yourself in a position to go to jail and lose all contact with your family, friends, loved ones, just because of your emotions, because of your ego, because you got hurt feelings about something that somebody did or something that somebody said? Think about how many people are in a grave right now or prison right now because they could not accept that shit for what it was and just move forward. Ain't nobody telling you to forget the shit. What is it telling you? Remember, but you got to keep moving with that shit in mind. You know, I know a lot of people in jail right now. You know what I'm saying? Trying to show out for people and shit. I'm just saying. All right, so accept that closure from these people that have betrayed us. Accept that closure may never come. Assume that that apology may never come. May not come. Assume the fact that these people will never admit that they're wrong about anything. Remember, one of the first things I taught my son, keep your hand up and ask for help, right? Second thing is assume ain't nobody coming to save you. Number three, work as if help is on its way. See what I mean? Some apologies never arrives. The people who wronged you don't explain, and most of the time, and they probably never will. That's the part of betrayal that people don't tell you, that you may never get closure, but you can still have some freedom though, even with that, as you can obviously see. So one of the questions is, am I stuck waiting for something I'll never receive? If you're plotting on a person, then you probably know you're never gonna get an apology. You're never gonna get an admission that, hey man, I fucked up, I did you wrong. Right? I mean, can we agree upon that? If you're plotting on a person, you know that apology ain't coming. Hey, am I wrong? I'm really asking y'all. Am I wrong about that? Am I the only one that's either, you're not getting an apology? If you're plotting on a person, you know they are never gonna own up to what they've done. So the only way you feel that you could do something is retribution. I don't know. Just saying. Reality is that closure is a gift that we often have to give to ourselves. And if you remember when we talked about clarity, right? If you guys remember when we talk about values, when we talk about principles, when we talk about our rules of engagement, right? Our rules of conduct, if you will. You know what your values are, right? You know how to change a belief, right? You know what your principles are, right? You know what your rules of conduct are, right? So when we talk about closure as a gift that you have to give to yourself, understanding what those 4 or 5 things are, that's a gift that you give to yourself. That's the understanding that we give to ourselves when we see that I'm never going to get an apology from that person. It's never going to happen. I'm not going to tell you that you got to be okay with it. You just have to accept that you might not get that. Okay? So what do? Write the ending, or even if you don't like writing, I love to write myself, but y'all figure your shit out. I would suggest you write. But write the ending that they wouldn't give you. Forgiveness is not about forgetting. It's about cutting the emotional leash. Right? That's all it is. And here's the thing. Majority of us consistently keep rerunning it, and rerunning it. And you know what's so crazy is that every single time you rerun what happened, you're piecing it together like a Lego set. Right? You have all these scattered pieces. Because think about it, when you're not thinking about it, it scatters itself everywhere. Right? When you start thinking about it, you have to put each piece where it needs to go. So this piece goes over here, that piece goes over here, this piece over here goes right there. Because in your mind doesn't have that story just off and ready to go. No, you have to reconstruct. You know, you have to reconstruct it every single time. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but every time you tell a story, you are reconstructing that story. Every time you feel that emotional, visceral pain that goes with it, you are creating that. Now, eventually, what happens is that it becomes automatic. Where as soon as you think about the person, as soon as you think about the name, as soon as you think about what they did, you automatically get that feeling. I don't know, what are we on 13? You guys remember this? Something comes in and goes through all that shit, internal representations, the state, which is what attitude are you in, the physiology, and then what comes out is your behavior. When something gets triggered automatically, it's an automatic thing that every time you see or hear something, you automatically do it. Doesn't mean it's real or not. What makes it real is you make it real. Right? Okay. So, all right. So I think we're good with that one. Any questions on that? Or are we good? Like I said, do some writing. Shit, man, what? If y'all could see, I don't know if y'all could see this or not. I don't know if you can. I wrote last night the thing that the thing that Rebecca was talking about the the anti penul the anti penultimate ultimate penultimate anti penultimate anti penultimate. There you go. Which basically means like the third thing to the last. So yesterday was anti penultimate. Today is a penultimate, and then tomorrow's the ultimate. Yes, Rebecca. See, I listen. I listen. But I wrote that down because I like to write shit down. I don't like my mind to just know everything. I gotta like to write it down for myself. And plus, you're 33% more likely to remember what you wrote down. Just throwing it out there. All right, so number 3, reclaim the story before it owns you. So what I'm saying is, thank you, ma'am. So what I'm saying is reclaim that story before it owns you. What do I mean by that? Before it becomes automatic, you better reclaim that shit and reframe that shit. That's when we start reframing it. Before it becomes automatic. Because once it becomes your trigger, man, it's going to be a whole lot harder to do that because at that point, their name, the story, the situation, the circumstances will own you. It'll own you at that moment. It'll own you at that moment. It'll own you. The story that I had about my bookstore and all the stuff that went with it owned me at one point. Now it doesn't. Now it doesn't. Doesn't at all. Now it does not. I got friends out of that thing. You know, I found myself. I found what I value. I found the trial and error of what works for me and what doesn't. Man, I found a bunch of amazing things because of that store. Because of it, not despite of it, because of it. You know what I mean? I have no ill will feelings towards my business partner by no means. I don't. I do not. I don't. And that story owned me before. I don't want to let that own me. So I reclaimed that story. I reframed that story. Man, I wish that meant nothing but the best of luck. Nothing but. I did 99 episodes because of that bookstore. I showed up 99 times because of that store. Because it wasn't just about the store, it was about the people in it. I showed up 99 times because of Yadira. I showed up 99 times because of Anya. Just saying. I showed up 99 times because of Andile. I showed up 99 times because of other people that were there too. Even after feeling betrayed, that's how I roll, right? So our story can do one or two things. It can keep us stuck or it can set us free. Choice is yours. This story can either keep us stuck or it can set us free. Okay? Reality is that you can't change what happened, but you can rewrite what it means. And Eli called me one day and asked me, hey man, you want to sell books with me? Of course. And you want to know something? Want to know something? Even with all the fuck shit that happened, if he called me again today, I'd still say yes. If he'd call me again today, knowing everything that I went through, everything that I know, I'd still say yes. Even if it meant still being in this same spot, I would have still said yes. Because I wouldn't have showed up to do 100 of these things, would I? Even after fucking being betrayed, even after being shit on, even after being lied on, even after being set up. And I'm very happy that you asked that. The reason, so okay, this is 14. Let me write that down. That's a very good question, Yachty. Let me explain to you why I would say that. This is why. This is why. This is why. Number 2 and 3 is why. Stay solid in my character. I know what I stand for. I know what I stand for. And number 3 is what? Lead by example, even if I'm alone. Right? Now, if we go into my rules of engagement, my rules of conduct, one of them says that everything that you've gone through thus far has prepared you for the man that you are today. So if you take one thing away, something else leaves as well. You see what I'm saying? So you can't have one. Here's the thing: you can't have one thing over here without having this thing over there. It doesn't work that way. You have to take all of it. No, 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 no. So what I'm saying is not stay. What I'm saying is that some people say, if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have done X, Y, Z, or whatever that might be. Okay. What I'm saying is that I would have still picked up the phone, even knowing what was going to happen, because I wouldn't be where I am right now if I hadn't gone through that stuff then. That's all I'm saying. Now I'm saying like today, right here, right now, no, no, I'm out on that shit. Like, but again though, like I told Renita early, is that listen, even with the store within itself, or whatever, I started to understand later on when I wasn't there anymore that you know what, I don't think I want to sell books. Like Andila is great at selling books, great at it. For me, I like to read books, but I don't think I need to sell them. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind talking about books. I don't mind reading books. I don't mean mind being a connoisseur of books. I don't need to sell them though. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what's up, Jerry? You know what I mean? I don't need to sell them. So with that, I'll still support Andy and whatever he chooses to do with it or whatever. I mean, we're doing whatever and stuff, but here's the thing though, I'm okay with that. That does not bother me. And it doesn't bother me because I decided to rewrite that story. If that makes any sense, Yachty. Right? Okay, so what to do? Declare your narrative. They Now again, you can still say they betrayed me. I was betrayed. I was lied to. I was set up. I was jumped. I was backed out. I was gaslit. Right? You can still say all that, but don't forget to add, but they didn't break me. They ain't stopping shit. I know exactly who I am. You can't take that part from me. I've survived every horrible thing in my life, and I will survive that too. Remember when I told you guys before, we have to make full use of everything that happens to us, good, bad, and indifferent. Right? Everything builds on top of the other. Right? Experience begets more experience. Right? So each and every one of you can go out and say, yeah, I've been lied to, I've been betrayed, I've been this, I've been that. But yeah, I'm still here though. I'm not dead. I'm not in jail. I'm free to, for the most part, do whatever I want. You know. I mean, like I said though, man, it's just something to think about, right? Guys, guys, welcome to the word of the week, sponsored by our word. I actually for the last 9 days, perspicuous. Perspicuous is an adjective clearly expressed and easily understood. So it means that if a child wouldn't understand what you're talking about, it is not perspicuous. Okay? So what is our daily duality of perspicuous? Our synonym is understandable, not confusing, easy to grasp. But our antonym, the opposite of perspicuous, is vague, not specific, and unclear. Right? Just saying. How many of you? Chris, go ahead and get your dance on, buddy. Chris said, yay. You're so funny. Chris, I love that. Chris said, oh man, that was deep, Chris. I like that. He said, Fearless, your best role inside a bookstore is a customer. I 100% agree. Matter of fact, that's mine now. I'm going to take that. Or whatever. So, like, yeah, that's mine. I love that. And I agree 100%. The best role of a book, the best role inside of a bookstore is a customer. I agree. Because they're the ones who keep the lights on. Right? They're the ones who tell you whether you're doing good or not. So if you don't listen to the public, man, you're going to have a problem. All right, so something to consider. And I want you guys to remember this, man. Again, just something to think about. People betray to avoid shame, not to cause you pain. I'm gonna repeat that again. People betray you to avoid shame, not to cause you any pain. When people betray us, they're usually doing it for their own selfish reason. Most of the time, it ain't got shit to do with you. Most of the time, it has nothing to do with you. Remember that old phrase, hurt people, hurt people? Hurt people, hurt people. So, and again, our first inclination is to make everything personal. Is it not? Isn't that what we do? We think that everything's personal. Not everything's always evil. Sometimes it's cowardice dressed as protection. Especially if you live in a way better life than they are. You live in a way better life than they are. I've seen people be petty as fuck. Again, you guys know that I have several millionaire friends. One of them, I don't even really fuck with dude like at all, but dude's just petty as fuck. Jealous of somebody who doesn't have anything on this guy. Nothing. But jealous because he's always comparing himself to what somebody else has. And this dude's a millionaire multiple times, multi-millionaire, several times over. Just a piece of shit of human being. I remember telling him, like, bro, like, man, like, I love you, homie, like, I do. But the fact that you do shit like this, bro, like, I'm gonna have to limit my time being around you, homie. Like, you toxic for no fucking reason. Like, none. You know what I'm saying? Like, who does that? Just because he can. But again, hurt people, though. Hurt people, hurt people. So, I don't know. Let me ask you guys. Do you guys know people like that too? That fucking, for the most part, have every fucking thing. And are never fucking happy. And are still petty as fuck. For no logical fucking reason. How many of y'all know somebody like that? Say hi. Chris said, oh yeah. Again, I don't need to know who they are. I'm just asking, do you know somebody like that? Do you know somebody who's just so fucking petty? Like, bro, you got everything. Why are you tripping? It's the principle of it. Motherfucker, you ain't got no principles. We was just talking about that a couple days ago. Like, what are you talking about? Thank you, Renita. Thank you, Rebecca. Thanks, Chris. I'm just saying, man, and again, I know other people who are not millionaires who are just pieces of shit. Just like Dale. Sorry. My fault. Anyway, I mean, I'm just saying, man, it is what it is. But anyway, though, but I'm just saying, it's just weird as fuck. Does that dumb shit. Anyway, so after Betrayal, it's tempting to shut everybody out. And we do that. To stop trusting, to stay guarded, to never be vulnerable again. By hiding in your pain won't heal, it'll just harden it. That's why I consistently, I was asked before, hey, would you go in a partnership with somebody again? Of course I would. Yeah. Yes. Like that's almost like asking, like, would I ever be like roommates with somebody? I wouldn't necessarily want to, but I mean I would. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't want to if I had the choice, but yeah, I don't see a problem with it. No. Because here's the thing. First and foremost, I understand if I had to room with somebody, number one, I would know that I make more than enough money to cover everything. Everything. So if you just couldn't cover your half, I could cover it. I know we'll talk about that in a second. But what was I thinking? What was I? Damn it, Jerry! I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? What was I talking about? I don't know. Whatever it is, it'll come back. Somebody remind me what I was saying. I read Jerry's thing and my mind just went freaking blank. So the other question while you guys reminded me, what I was saying was, have I confused protection with isolation? Protection for isolation. Again, like I said, man, we have to. Well, we're setting up these. When you're hurt, when you stop trusting people and all that stuff, the first thing that we want to do is we want to build walls around ourselves to protect ourselves, right? First thing we want to do. I would say, okay, cool, whatever. I get that. But when you do that, you also block blessings from coming in as well. Setting boundaries is one thing. Setting walls up, that's not only does that keep out the person that did that to you, that also keeps out all the people who want to love you, who respect you, and want to try to build you up. If that makes any sense. So set boundaries, but not walls, right? And I mean, even myself, we get to that point where we block everybody out. We don't want to feel vulnerable. Fuck that. That's what I was talking about. Partnership and roommates or whatever. Like, as long as I can pay for everything, I'm cool. You know? But again, now I learned something because of the bookstore. I learned something because of the other businesses that I had that I'm learning more and more and more, not only about other people, but about myself. So if I could go through all this shit and say I haven't learned anything, then bro, I deserve everything that I get. See what I mean? So set boundaries, but not walls. Do you guys get that? Set boundaries that line in the sand, but we don't need to set walls up. Okay? Boundaries protect your peace, walls prevent your growth. I'm gonna say that again. I know you guys read it, but I'm gonna say it again. Boundaries protect your peace, walls protect your growth. That's how that works. Right? I'm just saying. I don't know about that, fearless. Just telling you. That's how that works. Okay? As soon as you start building walls up, man, I ain't gonna never trust nobody again. Wall, I ain't gonna never trust another man again. Wall, women are pieces of shit. Wall, the government's a bunch of lying, goofy motherfuckers. Wall, reluctant. Wall, right? Set boundaries, man. Set boundaries. Okay. All right. So what do we do? Define what scared. Define what's scared to you now, and then teach other people how to honor that. So there's nothing wrong with admitting what's going on. There's nothing wrong with accepting things as status quo, as what they are. Right? Like I told you before you can reframe it, you have to name it. Right? Before you can reframe it, you have to name it. What is it? Yeah, correct. I trust our government so little. If a senator told me it was going to rain, I'd think they were lying as I was standing in the rain. And isn't that sad? That's sad. Okay. Number 5, make meaning out of madness. You okay? Yeah. Okay. Hey, you want that? It's all yours. Take that. Okay. All right, go over there. Have it. Hey. Thank you, sir. Okay, I'm gonna put my stuff on because my buddy likes to smack his food like very loud. So do I though. But like I don't annoy myself, so here's what it is. Anyway, okay, so make meaning out of madness. Right? So story is that the pain didn't come with the purpose, right? But you still have to give it one. So some of the strongest people walking were forged in betrayal's fire. I like that. Um, they didn't just survive it; they alchemized it. Alchemy means turning one thing into another. It's like reframing 1,000 times, right? But and that's literally what it is. Is that it's forging one thing into another, right? And that's the reason why I was telling you, Miss Shotty, that dude, even if I were to get a call tomorrow, start the same thing, knowing what I knew, or whatever, I'd have still done it again. I'd still done it again because again, I wouldn't be right here doing this. I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have done that at all. I truly don't think I would have. And because I went through that, that gave me the strength and the courage, the inspiration to do what I'm doing right now. If that makes sense. So you have to make some meaning out of the bullshit that happened. If you just say, man, some people are just pieces of shit. Okay, cool. They are. But how does that help you? How does that redefine what happened to you? Right? What wisdom have I gained that others need to hear because of what I went through with this? Do you tell people, no, I would never trust another person? No. Maybe the next time we do something like that, we actually go to a lawyer, draw up, this is your part, this is my part, and let's have like a buyout. Let's have a this and the other. If I, do something, if I buy you something and you're going to pay me back, instead of us doing a handshake deal, Fuck that. Let's put this in writing. Let's go to let's go get it notarized. I am a licensed notary. I really am. Whatever I do, I'll notarize it for you. At that point, it becomes a standard boilerplate contract right there, right? But so many of us choose not to do that because we're like, no, that's my friend. He would never do that to me, or she would never do that to me. There's some shit. It's just better get that shit down in writing. It's some stuff that just, did you hear me? There's some things that are just easier for all parties to put it down in writing. Because when it's in writing, I don't have to worry about whether you gonna pay her back or not. See what I'm saying? At that point, go take it to small claims court. Problem solved. I did tell you that. Hey, that part. That part. Yes, very much. And again, but now you understand the difference between boundaries versus walls, Yachty. I don't want to build walls to block people out. I have, like, because of what I went through with that, I have I now have amazing relationships with people because of the store. You know what I'm saying? I have an amazing relationship with myself because of that. Because of it. Like I said, not despite, but because. Right? And so reality is if it broke you, it shaped you. If it shaped you, it can serve other people. Everything that I've been doing for these last 99 episodes has been because I have been busted, cracked, thought I was broke. Financially, I was. Um, I went through a lot, man, just to be able to come in and do this. If I don't do anything else, I've done this. See what I mean? I said I was going to do something and I fucking did it. I did it. But I didn't do it by myself. Y'all did it with me. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure, Majority. But here's the thing that's going to happen with that, unfortunately, is going to happen in a lot more relationships. Here's the thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. I kind of think I got off easy. And again, that's because I'm able to reframe shit. But I got off easy. I got off easy. Do y'all hear me? I got off easy. What? Stop playing. I got off easy. I've heard horror stories about betrayal. Horror stories. I mean, it's and again, like I said, it still hurts. It very much does. Very much does. But that's what it is, though. You know, I will. I would. Why do I say what? So, Arf, as you asked me, Miss Shadi, I'm gonna continue on over here. So, what to do? Share what you've learned, not for pity, but for power. I've seen so many people share their stories looking for fucking pity, looking and telling it from a victim standpoint. From a victim standpoint. Man, I ain't no fucking victim. Nah. No. No. Victims do victim type shit. Nah. I would rather I would rather say fuck it, put my head down and get to work. Depending on what I'm doing. But I don't need to sit there and be a victim of that shit. Nah. Learn what you need to learn. Y'all hear me? Learn what you need to learn. Just saying, what the fuck, man? Don't share what you've learned. Bonus time. All right, so bonus. Don't forget to heal. Oh, excuse me. Don't heal to forget. You heal to remember differently. Okay? You don't heal to forget. You heal to remember it differently. I guess, man, a lot of the shit that I've gone through, I remember how it actually happened. But the story that I usually tell, it's I tell the same story just with a different ending. So I might say something like along the lines of I was, I was brought up in the state, right? Foster homes, group homes, institutions, lockups. That's my adolescence. That's how I grew up as a ward of the state, right? Now, one person may think that, man, that was kind of um, that's kind of a shitty life to live. No family, moving around a lot, never in the same spot. Right? You can never really make friends. I look at it like, man, I had a very interesting childhood. Very interesting. I met some amazing people, which I still have contact to this day. Right? I remember one guy. His name was Mr. Carlson. I seen Mr. Carlson a couple years ago at Walmart in Council Bluffs. Right? When I saw him, I'm like, man, where do I know him from? Couldn't place it. Asked him for help. He helped me. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I think it was like a week or so later. I'm like, man, I don't. Where do I know this dude from? And then it dawned on me when I was at that boys' ranch I told you guys about. He was one of the staff that was out there. He was one of the family teachers that was out there. And when I went back up to the store, I said, Mr. Carlson, right? He said, yes, because remember, at Walmart, they don't have their name tags, their last names. It's usually just their first name. So I said, your name is Mr. Carlson, right? And he's like, I figured, I knew it was you, but I didn't want to, just in case it wasn't you, you know? I'm like, yeah. He said, what's so crazy is that when I knew you when you were 15 years old, you were extremely like all over the place, like energetic and like you are extremely hyper. When I knew you, you were hyper, extremely. He said, when I saw you a couple weeks ago and we were just sitting there talking, he said, I knew it was you, but I recognized the guy, but I didn't think it was you because you're so calm now. You weren't calm when I knew you, like at all. And I knew you for what, 2 years? Like, yeah. He's like, dude, what happened? Like, I grew up. I mean, I still kind of turn up every so often, but no, I don't mind being cool, calm, and collective. You know, that's kind of my thing. He's like, man, that is impressive. You know, but again, think about that though, right? I go through all that shit as a kid to grow up to make sure my kid never goes through nothing like that, right? To teach him the shit that was taught to me from state officials. We got fed well. We went on vacations all the time. We had I had a bunch of dudes that I still love to this day. I had father figures at that point that taught me all kinds of different shit. So when I tell a person that I was raised by the state, I don't mean that to be to sound what's the word? I'm not saying that for people to feel sorry for me or for pity or that I was a victim. Nah, never that. I had an amazing childhood, very interesting, full of trot, full of drama, but man, full of fucking happiness too, full of perspective. See what I mean? So, like I said, man, don't forget, don't heal to forget. You know, you heal to remember what happened differently. That's all reframing is. So let's kind of go into our little thing. So healing does not erase what happened. It transforms the way that you carry it. Like the story I just told you. The same memory that once crushed you can become the same energy that calls you to a higher plateau. See what I mean? Think about that. When I was in that shit, oh, going to all these different foster homes and group homes and all that shit, man, you don't think I was hurting then? Being away from friends, being away from family. Oh man, that shit sucked. But through that, I still became the man that I am today. And even when I went through it, I tried to find something positive in it. Even then, tried to find something positive in it. Right? All right. So, question: can I remember what happened without reliving the wound? I can because I've told a different story. I've always given a different alternative to what happened, right? A different outlook, a different perspective. So I could tell the same story going through all this shit. It's just the outcome is different, right? I met some of my best friends at that time. At that time. Just saying, right? So reality is that you may never forget the betrayal, which you're not going to. That was the first thing we talked about. You're not going to get over it. Okay? At least not easy. But you do get to choose the way that you carry it with you. Okay? You're not going to forget it. Like, that's not going to happen. But you do get to choose the way that you carry it. You know, that's all I'm saying. Okay? So, what to do? Revisit the memory through the eyes of the version of who survived it. Let it remind you who you became, not who broke you. And here's the thing, you never got broke in the first place. So I think you'll be okay. God damn it. Got another fly in here. You guys know I hate flies. All right. But revisit that shit through the eyes of the person who survived it. So so if you guys have gone through some stuff, you can look at it from the eyes of a child. You can look at it from the eyes of somebody who was treated wrong, abused, and this and the other. You can look at it from that standpoint. And a lot of us do look at it from that standpoint. What I urge you to do, what I challenge you to do, is look at it from the version of the person who survived it. Like, who did you become despite this? If you look at some rape victims, one of the things that I've read about and talked to cops about before is that they always tell people that you feel a lot better when you can point out your attacker and let them know that you didn't break me. Like, you didn't break anything. Bro, you're a coward, homie. I mean, you got the better of me because you either drugged me, you're stronger than me, you did this and the other. Okay, cool. You got that. But now you about to go to jail, so good luck to that, right? Or you're going to forever know that this is one chick that you didn't break, or this is one guy that you didn't break at all, regardless of the type of person that you were, right? So if we start looking at things from the person who survived the abuse, who survived whatever that thing was, then maybe you'll start to kind of see things a little differently. It's almost like when people read the Bible from our standpoint. Bible wasn't written for our standpoint. It was written for their standpoint. Now you can still take that book and learn something from it for today. Yes. But a lot of the stuff that they're talking about in there has nothing to do with how we live today. It's how they lived back then and what they were doing back then. It's like if I were to pass on tomorrow, for instance, my tools, strategies, techniques, philosophies in life, they'll carry on with you. You're like, yeah, I knew Fearless personally. I spent 99 days with that dude every single day, right? I could tell you what some of his beliefs were. I could tell you how he changed them. I could tell you what his values were. I could tell you what his principles were. I could tell you what his rules of engagement, rules of conduct were. I could share all that with you. I could tell you that. I could tell you how he grew up, where he grew up, who taught him character. I could tell you all that, right? And then you can move that thing on. But I wouldn't want a person to live my life exactly because you didn't go through what I went through. That's why I can show you guys my values and my principles and all that stuff. Cool. I can show that to you. But like I tell you, take it, don't copy it, just use it as a template. Write your own stuff in. You can borrow my shit until your shit starts kicking in. but you still need to write your own stuff. I'm not saying we can't have some of the same stuff. That's fine. But we don't live the same life. You see what I mean? All right. So which one are we on? Okay. Something to consider. Now I want you guys to think about this. I'd save the best one of these for last. You are more likely to be betrayed by somebody that you helped. I'm going to say that again. You are more likely to be betrayed by somebody that you helped. Study shows that betrayal often comes from people that you uplifted, trusted, and or defended. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. This is my favorite one out of all of them. This is my favorite one. What do you mean, Miss Shotty? You are more likely to be betrayed by somebody that you helped. Isn't that crazy? How many of you, by show of hands, agree with that? Christopher said, definitely happened to me. I mean, just really look at that. Studies show that betrayal often happens from those that you have uplifted, trusted, and even defended. Come on, man. What? Stop playing. Thank you, Miss Renita. Renita said I. Renita said she agreed with that. Has that occurred? Has that happened to you, Miss Renita? Has that happened to you where somebody that you that betrayed you, you actually helped them, and then they turned around and shit all over you? Yeah. Yes, Johnny. Yeah. That's what happens here. That's what happens. Thank you, Jerry. I'm just saying though, man. Isn't that shit crazy to think about that? That the people that you would go to war for, and I think that that's the reason why a lot of it hurts so much. See, if you're betrayed by somebody that you barely know, then you like, yeah, all right, cool, whatever. But when you're betrayed by somebody that you fucking love, when you're betrayed by somebody that you would go to war for, that's a different type of betrayal. You know? Like here's the thing, like I've seen things where two people, I've seen it more times than one act, a lot of times actually. I've seen relationships where things where you have, man and woman, then they love each other very much. And then she fucking for some reason falls in love with somebody else. It is not that she doesn't love this person anymore or any less. It's just that natural pheromone or that natural whatever that she has for that person is undeniable. And she ends up leaving such and such, ends up, and again, they're about to get married and everything. Nope. Nope. These people, the people I'm talking about, they were engaged for 5 years. They were engaged for 5 years. I knew another woman who was engaged for when I met her. It was they were together for 15 years at that point. Engaged. Every one of those females that I knew that were engaged for that long period of time ended up with somebody else, married, with kids, all that shit. Within 2 years of after they left that person. No joke. I've even seen dudes where the guy had a vasectomy. Dead ass. Ends up hooking up with such and such or whatever. Goes in, gets a vasectomy redone because it's possible. They take it up and refuse them together. End up having 4 kids. 4 of them. So I'm just saying, I've seen stranger things happen. I even seen a dude divorce his wife and uh, to go be with a guy. Happens. You know? Anyway, all right. So here is our cheat sheet. Let me know what you guys. Which ones do you guys resonate with the most? Pretty please. Shh. Sugar on top. I'm sending it to you guys now. Which one did you like, Chris? What about you, Miss Renita? She said that's what makes you lose trust in everybody. I mean, and here's the thing, though, right? I and again, I guess that's one perspective. I think the way that I see that is that sometimes, man. First off, majority of these people weren't looking for other people by no means. But I think that when it's time, it's time. Ain't nothing gonna stop that. Nothing. And it wasn't like they were there. It wasn't like the people that I knew. It wasn't like they were cheating on other person. Like that never happened. Like the females I knew who ended up leaving, being with somebody else, getting married, kids, all they never cheated on their boyfriends at all. Not once. Now the dude who was married and went off and he was, but the women were not. Like at all. So like yeah, and not just that though, man. I've been in relationships like that before where I was into. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, okay, I got you there, Mr. Nita. I got you. I thought you were talking about the relationship. I'm like, no, I've even had to tell women like, I like you a lot, but I'm really into such and such. And I don't know what's gonna happen, but I also don't want to I don't want to step out and do some foul shit, which again I have on multiple occasions or whatever. But like now, I'm trying to be a little bit more transparent with what I'm doing, so it's just easier just not to do shit with nobody. So again, for me, it is. I'm not talking about for anybody else. Y'all do y'all. So anyway, okay, cool. All right. So real fast, what is the Miss Renita? Are you sliding through tomorrow? What's going on? Jerry was asking about it as well. Christopher, what what are we doing tomorrow, bud? Is Orsi's open tomorrow? Because I was talking to you about it before. Yeah, you know what? No, you're right about that, Miss Renita. Technically, we were going to do it on the 28th because we thought that the 28th, which is today, we thought that it was the 100. I thought that it was the 100 episodes, the 100 one tonight, but actually it's tomorrow. I mean, or I mean, can I just say, can I say or um, how? I mean, if you guys want, I mean, you tell me what you think, but would you guys like to maybe plan it out for like maybe next Sunday? So then we don't have to be online. We can just kind of do our thing, just kind of have like a meet and greet um slash what um cookout kind of potluck type thing. What do you got? What do you guys think about that? And we could do it during the daytime, Renita, since you don't like driving at night. Okay, okay. Chris, it'll be ready by next week. Well, Chris, I want some of that dessert anyway. You owe me for that pie. So tomorrow, what is tomorrow? Sunday? I want some on Monday, Chris. Make some more. I'll give you some money. Make some more. What did you make anyway? Yes, I do, please. Yes, I do, Miss Renita. Yes, I do, please. Hmm. Okay. I want some on Monday, Chris. What about you, Yadi? Are you cool with that? What time, Miss Renita? You want to do like a you want to do like maybe like a 1 or even a noon? That works too. Oh, okay. That works. Thank you, Miss Anya. Okay. Oh yeah, that is a yeah Thanksgiving, 4th of July weekend. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, that'll work, guys. We could do that. And I will talk to um I'll talk to the bakers and see if they're okay with that too. I don't even are they even here? I don't think so. I don't know. All right, yeah, we'll send a thing out for everyone. We'll send out an invite on our little thing. Okay, there he is. There he is. Okay. Next Sunday at 1 o'clock, Jerry Bear. All right, ladies and gents, it is 12 past 10. I'm gonna go finish playing my video game. I will talk to you guys tomorrow on day 100. I cannot believe it, but I can. So, all right, man. I will see you guys later. Have an amazing night. It's kind of warm in my house. I don't know why. Anyway, maybe it's because I got on a freaking hoodie. Either way, I will see you guys tomorrow. Deuces, good night, everybody.